It's a gateway to constant monitoring, tracking where you go, what you buy, what you read, and what you think. And we already know the government polices that quite harshly. We've seen this happen elsewhere. In China, it's tied to a social credit system. In the EU, it's being linked to bank accounts and digital wallets. Once that infrastructure exists, it never stays voluntary for long.
Exactly.
Today, it's about security, it's about efficiency, but tomorrow it will be about compliance and it will be about control. Just think, who remembers the COVID passes?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
They began as a temporary health measure. But as we know in politics, nothing's ever temporary. And they quickly become conditions of everyday life. And they said to us, it's your choice. It's your choice if you want this, but if you don't do it, we're going to force you out of your job, we're going to ban you from seeing your friends, we're going to ban you from seeing your family, and we're not going to let you go out to places. But don't forget, it's still your choice. They were never our choice. And digital ID, once it's normalised, there's nothing to stop a future government linking them to your tax records, social media, or even your bank account access. And now it's already easier enough to get arrested for what you tweet online. Just imagine when they have the records of our names and our addresses at their disposal so easily. We're all going to end up in the slammer reading 1984. And let's not forget, of course, that our government has an absolutely terrible record on protecting our own data. I mean, this is the government where there was NHS data leaks, lost laptops, and we even gave information to the Taliban. This government has proved time and time again that it just cannot be trusted with our personal information. And yet it wants to now control a centralised digital database for every citizen in Britain. No, we do not trust them with this kind of power. In fact, we should not trust any government with this kind of power, no matter who they claim to be. And we're not alone. Nearly 3 million people have already signed a petition against digital ID. So there may not be many of us here, but there's many, many more of us out there. And you know something is a problem when us of the right wing are agreeing with Jeremy Corbyn.
And his brother.
But the government, as expected, so far have ignored everyone, as they usually do, because they have no respect for democracy. But as Margaret Thatcher once warned, we must always be aware of the enemy within, which is much more difficult to fight and far more dangerous for our liberty. The greatest threat to our freedom doesn't come from a foreign power, it comes from our own government. From a government that believes that people are to be managed and not served. From politicians who think they have the right to control everything that we do, from how many glasses of Coke we drink at a Nando's. My friends, this isn't about technology, it's about trust, and it's about freedom, and it's about the kind of country that we want to leave to our children. Because once our identity becomes digital, our freedom is gone forever. So let's all draw a good line under it today. I don't care who the fuck you voted for in the past. I don't care if you're UKIP, I don't care if you're the British Communist, to be fair, the British Communists will be cheering this on. I don't care if you're Labour. Let's work together and say no to digital ID.
They say that digital ID, as Sophie touched on there, they say that digital ID is to stop illegal workers in the UK. Well, there's a very simple solution. Deport! It's not difficult. It's something that us conspiracy theorists have been screaming about for years. She also mentioned COVID passes. Well, did you know the Nazis had something called the Gesundheitspass? It's called a health passport. Exactly the same thing. But I'm going to welcome the stage now to someone that you may all know very well, and that is Nick Tanconi, the leader of UKIP. Louder.
I think it's dark. Give yourself a round of applause, everyone. You've come out. I might just camp here. I might just live here. I won't move in here because all of the speeches are happening from here. So look, we know that he's not going to listen. He doesn't care. Did you guys know that Keir Starmer wants to bring in digital ID to stop the boats? We might as well laugh about it, guys. We know what's coming, right? And there's a chance he might be listening as well. My activist team and I have done more to stop the boats in only a matter of days, funded with only a few quid and armed with a set of balls than any establishment party has ever done over the last 2 decades. You know when Starmer's lying, don't you?
Every day.
His lips move. Now to the subject of tyranny. I remember around 5.5 years ago, I was told when I could and couldn't go out. I was told when I could and couldn't work. I was told I would have to get a loan, and I was asked to pay interest on that loan to survive. I was told to stand 2 meters away from my fellow citizens, and I was asked to clap at the sky. I observed glorious sunshine and blue skies never before seen in England, fairly consistently for what seemed like endless months, and every single news piece, absolutely everywhere, was far-left propaganda telling me that all white, straight Christian men were bad and were the source of all evil, and that the left, the Islamists and non-whites could behave however they wanted, whenever they wanted, as long as it was in the name of fighting oppression, standing up to racism, objecting to our history, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, their ace in the hole, fighting for minority rights. As a blue-blooded conservative, it is in my nature to not trust the government. After the lockdown files, not only does my inertia tell me not to trust the government, but also to not believe a word they say. It has been made so demonstrably clear that the political agenda is far left and totalitarian in orientation. I am on record as saying we have clearly been living under left-wing fascism for so very long in modern Britain. Frankly, it's one of the most depressing political topics I have to engage in. Britain has been under left-wing authoritarian rule for decades. The ugly truth is that the vast majority of social conservative voters still don't understand this. There is only one hope. There is only one way out. The solution is but one. You must become a political activist. You must become a party member. You must stand and win as a candidate in your area, and you must contribute to returning a parliamentary majority in the general election and put me in place in that building over there. Put me in place as your country's leader, and I swear, patriots, on everything that's holy, I will declare war on the deep state. I will declare war on our corrupt government. I will declare war on far-left extremism, communism, and Islamofascism, as well as beginning mass deportations and remigration of those people who do not belong here. In the spirit of fairness, let us ask ourselves, patriots, what is digital ID for? My first instincts remind me that I have a national insurance number, a passport, a tax code, a unique tax reference, and probably about 50 other forms of identification. NHS number. My instincts tell me that when I was hunting invaders in northern France, these people travelled 2,500 miles, jumping from country to country, and our governments have no issue with this and with spending and offering our taxpayer cash to welcome and support them. I notice also the establishment refuses to deploy the military into the channel to intercept and destroy the boats. Keir Starmer, tell me again that digital ID is designed to stop the boats, you lying scumbag. Recently, my accountant emailed, and I've got a very good relationship with him, even though he's my accountant. He emailed me telling me I had to confirm my identity to the revenue. Now, for those of you who aren't self-employed, we tend to refer to the Inland Revenue in a derogatory sense, so we call them just the revenue. Self-employed people will know full well these people are basically a mafia and live to ensure you and I comply or are heavily fined. Like many British institutions, the revenue is not only incredibly well financed, but also has endless resource. They are a state asset and are in no way a friend of what built Britain, and describes the rags to riches story perhaps the best. That's the story of the family-run and owned SME. That's the small medium enterprises, guys. The start-up businesses. I believe he said the digital app is called One Login, and it is a gov.co.uk product. Now, I have been told in no uncertain terms that should I not verify my ID through this app, heavy fines will follow and that there is no escape. So let us now turn our heads to what the purpose of digital ID is, as described by the government. The government have said the following: the card can be used to identify yourself to law enforcement. What do we think of that?
Well, they already know who we are.
They do it.
The government have said the following: the card can be used to identify yourself to law enforcement. Do you mean like a driving license? Do you mean like facial recognition? The government have said the card gives you easier access to public services. What, you mean like becoming Muslim? The card, it gets better, guys. The card helps protect people against identity fraud. The government cares about us. The government cares about our bank balances. Do you know how much they care about our bank balances and our hard work and our blood, sweat and tears? They tax us into oblivion. Now, I just heard from a gentleman who I've never met that apparently this has all been demoed. Test case beta testing, Vietnam, believe he said the 1st of September. 86 million bank accounts were frozen to those who didn't comply. Now, I can't verify the individual. He gave me his time. I spoke to him. You all know I'm at street level. You're welcome, sir. And we very quickly got onto the fact that this is biblical. Any Christians here? In terms of background, guys, national ID, for those of you who don't know, was finally abolished in 1952. Progressivism, modernity, we're going backwards. It was abolished in 1952. You guessed it, it was abolished because populist governments decided it was being viewed as authoritarian and used to crush civil liberties. Guess which politician and which party reintroduced the scheme?
It's always fucking Labour.
Tony Blair and his new Labour, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, for good measure, it is the Tony Blair Institute which has been pushing the idea of digital ID
It's also his son's act.
for years as well. Oh, really? So, we know about good politicians and bad politicians over the years, guys. We know about good decisions and bad decisions. There have been some very few good decisions. But in closing, we all know why we're here. Patriots. The petition was made and it got 100 trillion billion signatures. What's Keir Starmer going to do with that? He's going to wipe his arse with it, is what he's going to do. They're laughing at us. Petitions work. Pressure works. Lobbying works. Think tanks work. Here's one for you. The Big Brother Watch have issued a statement strongly urging the government to rethink. And as usual, we, the voter, the taxpayer, we remain outraged and no change comes about whatsoever. Now, Ronald Reagan said, "Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid."
We need Ronnie and Maggie.
We need more than Thatcher, mate. We need more than Thatcher. What do we know about the good in Britain, patriots? Is it afraid? Are the silent majority, the masses, are we afraid? Once again, I am commanded to force you, patriots, to face the realities about the battle we are in. You cannot convert liberal mindsets, nor communists, nor Islamo-fascists. You cannot convert narcissistic personality disorder, prideful, hardened hearts. You are wasting your time trying to save them. We are also out of time. We also cannot wait for another establishment stooge to disappoint us and sell us out to the highest bidder. If we want our country back, patriots, we are going to have to take it back. Because, patriots, you have to fight to keep your freedom. The left always want the government to have more power over our freedoms. The approach of the lefty voter is to do it slowly, over time, accepting that change is indeed slow and often with no shots fired. Indeed, the transfer of power from the people to the government is the incredibly grave matter with which we are now addressing, and why we are here today. And for those of you taking digital ID to the grave, that this is the hill that you die on, this is your campaign, the grave matter that we are discussing is the voluntary offering of our power to the state, unopposed, with no resistance. That's what the message is, and we must confront it. Tell us what you really think, mate. In conclusion, people actually, genuinely, have clapped at the sky, all joking aside. The greatest problem, patriots, we have is the void of courage and, of course, political apathy and indifference on the socially conservative right. Men and women must stand up and fight. The issue we have, and the key ingredient required to fight back against socialist tyranny, is a single unit point of command on the socially conservative right, simply does not exist. For too long, patriots and concerned citizens, it simply hasn't been an option available to the socially conservative voters. They have had no one to vote for. How many times have you heard it? I've got no one to vote for. Or if they are registered to vote and they are going to vote, they turn round and say, who did you vote for? And you say, I voted for the least worst option. I promise you, if that mindset stays, if the coward bending of the knee, indifference, apathy stays, the corrupt liberal elite will continue to have their wicked way with us, without so much as flowers and dinner. This is not the end, patriots. This is just the beginning. What has been trialled again and again is us leaving it to the liberal elites to protect us. How's that worked out, patriots? How's it worked out leaving the men in suits, the liberal elites, the millionaires and the billionaires? How's that worked out protecting our women and children? How's it worked out protecting our borders? It's failed time and time again. All this does, all the outrage, all the hatred, all it does is serve to further flatten the heart rate of patriots' motivation and willingness to defend their land, their church, their freedoms, their women and children, and I'm absolutely sick of it. Pressure through movements, lobbying and protests, all of these work to inspire people, and I fully endorse this approach. A massive thank you before I close to James, who is so far beyond his years, and activists who are so far beyond their years and who are doing so much more than I was doing at 24, 25, 26, albeit a very different time. Pressure works, and I want to thank good people, you guys, media, influencers, streamers, activists, men like James Harvey. I want to thank you so much, because this message gets sent to our brothers and sisters in the UK who have given up hope, and it reignites hope, and that is what brings the fight and wins the battle. So I fully endorse this approach, but patriots, you know me, this must all be converted into political action and behind a political party. You cannot take your country back, and you will not take it back without your political party returning a majority in the general election, patriots. Even after lockdown, if people still do not know their political ideology, and if they still do not know their faith, I am at a loss 5 years on from that awful period as to what to say. But I do know we are fighting for the soul of this nation. There is nothing left but to fight back, patriots. I am your leader. I am your fighter. I will retrieve your freedoms, and I will punish the traitors who have taken them from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. That was awesome speech. Now, before we bring on our next speakers, we've got about 3 or 4 more to go, I believe. I wanted to mention, last week I was invited to a demonstration in Braintree. At this demonstration, Braintree and Colchester. At this demonstration at Braintree and Colchester, the police had issued a Section 14 without any grounds to do so. What this meant was that without any reasonable suspicion, the police were able to dictate the exact location, the exact finish time, the exact start time of the protest. If we didn't listen to this, we would be arrested and would look at prison time. This is not freedom. Now, for those who have followed Nick for years, you may know that he's also the Chief Operating Officer of Turning Point UK. Everyone give them a round of applause. Now, can I bring up David a sec? Now, I'm going to introduce you to our next young speaker, young Bob, who, before he speaks, he wants to introduce something. So everyone give a round of applause for 17-year-old young Bob.
Hello, thank you everyone here today. I think it was deemed appropriate that an organisation that fights for genuine freedom gives a minute for a man who was martyred for it. So could we all give a minute of silence for the one and only Charlie Kirk, who unfortunately had an early passing due to the people that couldn't debate him. Well, on fighting for freedom, we have a Prime Minister who is in a bit of a muck right now. He was rhetorically on the right to win over reform voters, but when he noticed that wasn't going to win, he needed to be seen as the new Labour leader, this sort of Blairite figure. And the best way of doing that is through introducing and developing on a surveillance state. We currently have two failed projects here in the United Kingdom. The failed project of multiculturalism and the failed project of a surveillance state. The same state that prevents me as a 17-year-old from going on Bible Hub because I need ID verification from a third party that stores my data. The same surveillance state that decided to arrest a 17-year-old twice, once for filming a counter-protest and another for a Section 14 of the Public Order Act. A section that controls when you protest, how you protest, and where you protest. Now, on my second arrest, whilst halfway through my detention, because they knew it was a trumped-up public order offence, they decided to arrest me for a second section, Section 19 of the Public Order Act, which is inciting racial and religious hatred, for saying, deport all economic migrants. Now, if that statement reaches persecution, I don't know what screams like communist China. They originally, under the Conservatives, introduced arbitrarily defined laws to control your civil liberties to protest. Then they began to block explicit material under the guise of protecting young people for pornography. And I can say this anecdotally. Under that legislation, I have not been prevented from looking at explicit material. It is a laughable suggestion that legislation would prevent young people from watching pornography, especially when we have individuals driving along on a bang bus going on about how they're going to have sex with just legally turned 18-year-olds. So we have a state which right now is trying to reform itself as a party that will smash the gangs, even then making the left disenfranchised by a policy that was introduced under New Labour. Then we have on the right our Home Secretary, under the guise of trying to prevent Palestine Action protests, even though a few years ago she was pictured at the very same demonstrations. She is now going to ban reoccurring protests. Everything is being cornered in by the public. Your right to freedom, your right to protest, the right to say whatever you want, and this is the same government which will lose national insurance numbers, then trying to argue that it can introduce digital ID. I will argue this to you, patriots. Digital ID is an incompetent policy brought in by a man that knows he's losing. But come next general election, who will use that system is up for grabs. So we need to make sure that we vote in for a party that vehemently disagrees with a surveillance state. We need to ensure that young people aren't used as a form of justification for a surveillance state. We need to make sure that our elected politicians aren't the slimy political businessmen that they are. And we need to make sure that we say no to digital ID. And I ensure this, ladies and gentlemen, right now I'm on bail until the 30th for 2 charges. And I make sure that regardless of the outcome of those 2 charges, I'll still be here saying whatever the hell I want. Because I believe in a society you should be able to say, unless it incites a degree of violence, whatever the hell you want. And when we have streets that call for a globalized intifada, they decide to pick a 17-year-old who says a very clear message. Deport all economic migrants. I will claim one thing about myself. I'm an activist for freedom of speech, both on the left and on the right. I believe the biggest form of multiculturalism is the multiculturalism of ideas. And the party which triumphs of the party of multiculturalism, instead of educating our young people to teach that very fact, they rather decide to import a bunch of doctors and engineers and then argue that that's our best form of multiculturalism. A society that demonizes our opposition isn't a society of multiculturalism. It's of fascism and of a culture that's trying to import communist China because they're at fear of losing. The only reason why they will decide to introduce digital ID is because they know they're at the back end. They know that freedom costs them the general election, so they try to control us. So, if activist organisations continue, if pressure begins to triumph over 10 Downing Street, if protests are consistent, if there's no compliance with digital ID, I promise you, Keir Starmer's reign will come to a very short end. But I always like to end my discussions with an appreciation. If a 17-year-old has to tell you this, you know you're in a real bad state. So thank you so much, have a great day, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, young Bob. Oh, go on, give it another round of applause for young Bob. Does anyone remember what they were doing at 17 years old? Because I can bet it wasn't political activism. So, absolutely incredible. We need as many young people standing up as possible. I mean, we've got Nika over there. We have got loads of young people in this crowd tonight. And I can tell you something, young people are awake and they are not taking this digital ID. You know, they are trying at the moment to get digital ID into schools. Even I remember when I was in school, they were trying to get us all fingerprinted to pay for food. Because cash is so inconvenient, right? So yeah, let's just go download this 15 different apps to order something. Disgusting. But I'm going to introduce our next speakers. We've got a few more to go. So Danny Roscoe, coming up. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Thank you, beautiful patrons. Now, I want you to listen closely, because what I'm about to say is not a warning about any future. It's about a reality that's unfolding right now, right here in Britain. You see, our government is quietly constructing the most powerful system of control that this country has ever seen. And they call it the digital ID. They're going to dress it up as soft language. It's convenient, it's safety, it's for your security. They're going to tell you it's about stopping fraud or streamlining services and making things easier for you. But if we strip all that away, you're going to see it for what it is, and it's the key to the cage. Digital ID is not just a card on your phone, it's a switch, one that can decide whether you can access your bank, your job, your benefits, your healthcare. It's the power to track you where you go, what you buy, who you meet, and ultimately what you say. And once that switch exists, believe me, it's not going to be a question of if it will be used, it will be when. They want you to believe that this is modernism, that the modernization is not a freedom if it means surrendering your autonomy. Progress is not progress if it places a state between you and every decision in your daily life. And while they build this digital cage, look around you, look at the rest of the picture. Our churches, they're once the moral conscience of this country, and they are emptying. Leaders who once spoke truth to power, they now bow before the globalist cartel. And institutions that once defended our liberties, now they auction them off to the highest foreign bidder. And even our faith, we've seen with the Archbishop of Canterbury, is being rewritten. It's being softened, sanitised and made more compliant. And there's one thing that they didn't plan though, and that is us. Every one of us here. We are the last bastion. We are the front line. We are the people who still believe Britain is worth fighting for. We are the people who refuse to trade liberty for comfort, for truth for lies, and sovereignty over surveillance. We are not extremists for saying no. We are not radicals for demanding that the government serve the people and not rule them. We are heirs to a legacy that says the power must belong to the people and the government should be afraid of us, not the other way around. So this is our message to every bureaucrat, every minister, every corporate partner building this cage. We see you. We know what you are doing and we will not comply. And to every patriot here today, this is our moment. This is the line in the sand. And when they roll these IDs out, when they link them to your money, to your movements, to your medical choices, stand firm, refuse the leash, support those who refuse with you, build networks, build communities, build alternatives. Because once that switch is flipped, the resistance is going to be far harder. We will not be barcoded. We will not be catalogued. We will not live under a system that treats free men and women like livestock. Britain has faced tyrants before, and that's from the outside and from within, and every single time it was ordinary people doing ordinary, extraordinary things and rose up together as one and said, no, enough is enough. Now it's our turn. We're drawing the line in the sand. Digital ID is the front line. This is the battleground, and if we stand united with courage, with clarity and with conviction, they will not win. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you, James.
Everyone give it up for Danny Roscoe. Now, I believe it's Brendan Kavanagh in the crowd.
That's me, mate. I agree.
So, for anyone who doesn't know who Brendan is quite a well-known pianist. And he was accosted, about a couple of years ago now, he was accosted by the CCP for filming in public in the UK, in Britain. What an absolute joke. But, you know, I've said enough, mate. Good luck. Yeah, you too, mate. Yeah, good too.
Thank you, James. Well, first of all, I am absolutely heartened and delighted by the people here. When I look at protests on YouTube and social media, I see chaos, I see drama, I see Antifa, I see all sorts of craziness, but here I see patriots who are beautifully polite, who are reasonable, who are intelligent, and who just want their country back. Now, to be honest, I actually feel this is not a right-wing or a left-wing issue. I think this is an issue that unites everyone. The right and the left wing, to be honest, is a false dichotomy. The digital ID is for us all. It is a first step in a biometrical prison system designed to go with the central bank digital currencies, which they have all planned out when our economy collapses within the next several years. Once they've got the digital money and the national ID, we will truly be in a biometric digital prison. They want to bring in the Chinese communist system here. I know because I had a fight with the Chinese communists a couple of years ago. They turned up in St. Pancras Station making a propaganda film for Xi Jinping, and I disrupted them. It was a huge worldwide drama between me versus the Chinese Communist Party. I was contacted by MI6 who told me that I should not go to China because my life literally would be in danger for playing the piano. So my name is persona non grata with the Chinese Communist Party. And friends and patriots, that's what they want to bring in here. They want control. They want to control us. They want to micromanage us. They want to tell us what we can say. They want to tell us what we can eat. They want to tell us where we can go. They want to tell us what we can spend our money on. And it all starts with the digital ID. So my friends, my patriots, my fellow Christians, we must say no. No to digital ID. 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 Now, we've repeated that a few times because Keir obviously has a bit of a thick head and he needs to hear it a few times. Keir, baby, if you're over there, please listen to the people. We do not want what your masters are telling you to do. We do not want digital ID. So remember, this is the first step towards the digital tyranny. Joe Sixpack doesn't understand. He thinks it's all to help things be more convenient. It's to help us, identify ourselves with the police. But we know this is a plan. It's Agenda 2030. It is the New World Order. Yes, it is the beast system in embryo. So, my friends and patriots, say no to digital ID. Restore Christianity to this country. And let's take our country back. God bless you all. And remember, no to digital ID. 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 Keir Starmer, the people have spoken. We've said no to digital ID, and let's make Nick Tanconi our next Prime Minister. God bless Nick. I'm such a fan of his. Join UKIP, and also I want to say thank you to Sydney and James Harvey, who I've been following from a number of years from when I was in Norfolk during the COVID. I'm a big fan of Sydney and James, and also young Bob. It gives me heart to see the younger generation be on the side of right, so God bless you all. Thank you very much, and thank you.
Now, we're almost finished, don't worry, we're almost done. Now, I've seen a lot of talk online, and I want to make it very clear. A lot of people are saying, it's mandatory. It's mandatory. That doesn't mean you have to do it. Let me explain how this is going to go. Businesses are going to be required by law to make sure you have a digital ID. If you do not have a digital ID, you will not be able to get a job. It doesn't matter if it's only mandatory. They will put pressure on these businesses. They will fine them if they don't comply. We need any business owner watching at home. We need you on board. We need you to help us, the British public, say no. Today, since the announcement came last week, this is the first of the many protests against digital ID. There is one on the 11th of October. There is one on the 18th of October. And we will organise a massive demonstration in sometime in February. Are you going to be there? Yeah! Are you going to bring a friend? Yeah! Bring my kids. This, I promise you, is the start of a cultural and political revolution. We are going to successfully take our country back, one step at a time. Now it's going to work a little bit differently on the next demonstration, because there's no use shouting at an empty building at people who are too thick and too big-headed to care. So in February, I'll be on a Saturday, we're going to do an outreach march. We are going to walk through the streets of London, and we are going to hand out flyers. And then we're going to get to a stage where we will amplify the voices of the silenced. After that, we are going to travel around the country, and we are going to take our country back one constituency at a time, one area at a time. We are going to get the British public, the working class, on board to fight digital ID. It's going to be a long and it's going to be a hard battle, but it's a battle that every single one of us needs to take part in. The amount of people I have met today who are attending their first demonstration, or whose first demonstration was on the 13th of September, is absolutely fantastic. Everyone, give yourself a round of applause. Now, I'm going to bring on someone who has been talking about digital IDs 6 years ago, back when it was a conspiracy theory. But oh well, the conspiracy theories were right. Digital ID is coming in. Everyone give a round of applause for Piers Corbyn, brother of Jeremy.
Go on, Piersy.
Thank you very much. Well, what do I say? Resist, defy, do not comply. We can do it again later. It's okay. Fantastic to be here, and James, well done, really well done on getting this together. Quick round of applause for James. No, seriously. Seriously. Sorry. Oh, I dropped my speech then. Okay.
You got a lot
Right, well, Jeremy Corbyn used to be my brother, and now I'm his brother. The main division in the world now is not left or right. These are labels to confuse us. What it's about is democratic accountability versus world tyranny. That is what they want. And Digi-ID is the end of freedom. I don't know what's going on over there. Okay, we'll carry on. The police trying to make a distraction away from me. So, I've got two things to talk about. What is going on, and then how are we going to win?
Seems like
Because
someone
while
said
we're
something,
demonstrating
everyone
like this,
ran over.
and we must do this to get the message across to the public. But while this is happening, and there's no new law of Digi-ID yet, we have councils bringing in the infrastructure for it. In Hammersmith and Fulham Council, they are installing thousands and thousands of facial recognition cameras now, ready to control you, monitor you, and along with your programmable currency, have you turned off when the Digi-ID comes in. So we're going to be going to Hammersmith Council on Friday at 12 noon, King Street, Hammersmith. Come there. Yes, yes, please. Because James is right. Talking to the empty buildings is not going to get far. We've got to relate to the public, tell them the truth, and go directly to the town halls where they're going to implement this tyranny. 100%. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, and the second thing I want to talk about is the tricks they get up to. You know, of course, they make up a story all the time. It's so convenient, isn't it? As they say on our leaflet. And I say, first of all, if you haven't got these leaflets, take them. And we'll do some more with more info. And we'll have some more at Hammersmith. But come there and fight. But they'll try a new story all the time. We know about the boat story. It's unbelievably insane. But they'll carry on. But the thing I think we have to be really worried about is them trying to sell it to us under the guise of Digi with rights. People that talk about Digi with rights, it sounds so nice, doesn't it? It's all right. It means you'll have a prison and you'll have rights in the prison. We say no to the Digi prison. And there's no compromise on this. We do not want even to talk about Digi with rights. We say no to Digi-ID. Stop DigiID, period. That's a good American phrase, isn't it? Period. Okay. So, what are we going to do to win? Well, as I said, the first thing is, it's a campaign of explanation, really. Leaflets explain to people it's the end of freedom. They tell their MPs it's the end of freedom. A lot of MPs don't care a damn. We've got to be as practical wherever we can. It means you've got to resist, defy, and do not comply. And that might mean going to get arrested. Fine. I've been arrested 20 times since the start of all this stuff. Keep it up, people say. Yes. But practically, quick round of applause for me there, I like that, thank you. Practically, we've got to keep cash. Think about it. Think about it. Because once they get rid of cash, we are done. They want to have everything in digital cash. So we've got to go into shops where they're not keeping cash, demand they keep cash, and if they don't take it, take away the goods and put the cash on the counter and go. And when I did that, it got 6 million hits on the internet. So you could get famous on the internet doing that. Try that. Try that. But look, let's be serious. Cash is the bottom line. So we can do that practically. There's other things they do, like, as we said when they were preventing us from driving, in the ultra-low emission zone, drive at will, do not pay, and take down the cameras. All these cameras going up in Amazon and everywhere are to impose tyranny on us. So those who say take down the cameras, I say good on you.
Big up the Blade Runners.
Yes, big up the Blade Runners. Perfectly. Now I could maybe be arrested for saying this. I do not know. And I might get arrested for going on another demo like this again, because that's what they say. But we're going to have to go on these demos and face being arrested. Okay. So round of applause for you being arrested. Okay.
Make sure you have the pot noodle.
Right. So, yes. Yeah. The all-day breakfast is, well, they're not nice. None of them are nice.
Mine tastes like a whole bottle of Worcester sauces in it.
Okay, well, I think I better stop there. But let's say, look, we've got to be practical. We're going to have to take risks, and we're going to have to stand up for freedom. The choice is world tyranny or accountable democracy. And what you call the left and what you call the right are united on this. But I say, get away from those definitions. It's democracy versus tyranny, and we're going to win with the slogan, resist, defy, do not comply. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And go to Telegram, stop DigiID United. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Go on, give her another round of applause. Right, so Temper's going well at the moment. We have got, we've got Reese and Kate who are going to give a speech, and then we've got Miss Kent who have just vandalised here, who's going to be singing a song. So, yeah, let's bring on Reese and Kate. Everyone give them a round of applause, please. Come on, a round of applause.
Well, I don't know how you follow on from all of those great speakers, but here goes. Thank you to everyone for being here today. My name's Reese, and this is my powerhouse wife, Kate. It's an honour and a privilege to be speaking to all of you here today. Unfortunately, the circumstances in which we've been called here for are dark and bleak, to say the least. But we've all come here in the hopes of delivering a message of salvation for our nation and our people. For many years, strong conservative Christian leaders have been speaking of a time that would come in our nation. A time of terror and a time of where nations' leaders would usher in a new system. A system that would seek to digitalise citizens' identities. A system that would collectively centralise your identification, your passport, your bank, your taxes, the list goes on. But the system we see before us is now not that of a humanitarian benefit, it's a weapon disguised as digital ID. And how do they disguise it as? A solution for illegal immigration. a biblical prophecy from the book of Revelation, one that masquerades societal control as an anti-God society under a cloak of lies. We do not need a satanic form of control to fix the issues we see in our nation. We do not need a digitalized identification to stop illegal immigration. We do not need a godless, corrupt and evil government dictating to us how we fix the issues at hand. The answer has always been the same from the beginning: stop the boats. You might wonder what digital ID has to do with Christianity or God. You need only read a Bible to see just how much biblical prophecy is being lived out in real time. The Bible talks about enemy invasions of nations as a judgment to a nation that turned its back on God. The Bible talks about a mark of the beast, a 666 system that controls freedom of purchase, freedom to buy and sell. But be under no illusion. A nation that turns its back on God is a nation that leaves open a power vacuum. A vacuum that will be filled with evil forces that seek to remove every single one of your basic human rights. You will have seen out of nowhere a dramatic resurgence of Christianity at the Unite the Kingdom rally a few weeks ago. This is an act of God. You saw muscular Christians breaking strongholds, declaring the name of Jesus and calling this nation to return to him. It is the only thing that will save this nation, transform our leaders and heal this land. What does Christianity say about all of this? Many believe that Christians are supposed to nut up and shut up and do as they are told. But the Bible says to pay what is owed in taxes to Caesar. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's and give to God what is God's. The Bible does not say, however, to blindly follow and sit idly by while its nation's government not only erodes but destroys the very foundations of its civil liberties. This is not a biblical and holy government under God. This is an evil, deceitful government. Christians are not called to tolerate evil. We are called to not called to make peace with it, but to cast out evil and hold aloft our God. Tolerance is not a Christian virtue, and the only way we fix this mess is by reinstalling strong, muscular Christianity back into the heart of this government. God has blessed us with one man rightfully fit for the job, my brother in Christ, Nick Tenconi over there. Yeah. Together, we can all restore our great land back to reason, back to common sense, and back to purity. But that only happens one way, and that is under God. You did not vote for digital ID. It is not in Labour's manifesto. We did not vote for any of this madness that we see unfolding before us. We are called here today to revolt, to not comply with this evil and radical communist agenda. But I'd like to end on this verse, 1 Timothy 5-8. But if any provide not for his own, and specially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Thank you.
Is it? Today, we aim to leave you with a message of hope, unity, and strength. That no matter what the enemy throws at us, we have everything we need in order to defeat them. Call me crazy, I'm almost glad that they have done this. Digital ID, COVID, BLM, woke ideology, because it woke us up. More lions are waking up every day. They are creating a Christian army and they have no idea what they have started. Many of you will have no idea. You'll think I'm nuts, but it's true. Everything that you and I stand for comes from this book. The truth we all grew up with, the foundations that built this nation. Charlie Kirk, a Christian conservative man, lived his life according to this book, and he left us a blueprint, a guide to combating the enemy. Jesus Christ left us the ultimate guide to life. We have the cheat codes. But if you can't quite relate to Jesus, take a moment to look at Charlie. Realise that his calm, respectful, honest and humble nature pierced their lies so effectively that they couldn't let him live. There is so much power in the truth. In a dark room, all you need to do is turn on the light and the darkness is gone. Light conquers dark. Good conquers evil every time. We hope to encourage purpose in all of you, to recognise that each and every one of us have an important role to play in saving this nation and protecting our towns and cities. There is more to you and your life than our government would ever want you to believe. God has a purpose for your life. You were not an accident. As WWCD, we aim to identify the next step and encourage you to take it. When we go home, the government won't have abolished their plans for digital ID. We know that. We also know that they may try to implement lockdowns at any time. We must prepare locally in our communities. Feeding the hungry, helping the poor, all come from Christianity. Schools, hospitals, charities, even some football teams come about because of Christianity. The Bible inspires care, support, and strength in the community. What we consume, what we watch on TV, what we read, alters our minds and our actions. Cancel Netflix. Cancel your OnlyFans subscriptions. If you're still paying your TV license, get rid. Get yourself a Bible. Reading this Bible will change you. Wonderfully and inexplicably, it will change you. Reading this Bible will save your life. Amen. Oh, knocked my tooth out. Get your children a Bible. Wonderful, wholesome stories that encourage charity, kindness, and honesty, as well as masculinity in males and femininity in women, and sexual morality. Get your children to church. The only place now teaching the truth is a God-fearing, scripture-led church. A top tip when choosing a church: if you see a rainbow flag, run.
Yes.
Homeschool your kids. Release yourself and release your children from the chains of worldly distractions. Everything has been designed to capture you, distract you, desensitize and numb you. The solution to all that we have been fighting is in these pages. Stand firm in truth and with strength and faith in God, and the walls that our treacherous government hide behind will come down. With God, for God, and in His strength, not ours. Ephesians 6:10-18. The armour of God. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. Put on the full armour of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the power of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore put on the armour of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything, to stand. Stand firm then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. And with your, in addition to this, take up the shield of faith, which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions, with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Christ is King. Thank you.
Can we end on the Lord's Prayer? We all do the Lord's Prayer together. Does everyone know it? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
So thank you so much for that, guys. Now, we've been here for over an hour now, so can I ask for Miss Kent, if she's here, to come up on the stage. While she's going up to the stage, I've got to ask something of each and every one of you. And that's that we cannot do this alone. We can only do this if we fight together. This is a great start. And I expect there'll be a lot more on the 11th and the 18th. And this movement will continue to grow. But as we go across the country, as these protests pop up, please show them some support. We don't ask for donations, we fund this ourselves. All that we ask is that you share what is going on, you attend these demonstrations, you tell your friends about digital ID, and you help us fight against it. We cannot win without you. Let's show the government that the people are still in control and not the other way around. Now, Miss Kent, join me.
You've got a backing track, yeah? Let's get a lead up.
Come on, give a round of applause, everyone.
Oh, you got it.
Jodie, your husband's in his life.
Hello. Bye, babe.
Lily's got football on her.
Oh, that always helps. Why not? Sorry.
Lily's got nothing on you.
Hello.
It makes me mean a wankers, isn't it? Opposite down the street.
Yeah. They ain't going to stop the Palestine protest, bro. They're going to...
Dictator, a war instigator. He wants to fuck around and mess with human nature. Going round kids to satanic behaviour. And we ain't gonna fight no war. And we ain't gonna pay no more. Sitting in silence, cause we know your game is to push us to violence. And we ain't gonna fight no war. And we ain't gonna pay no more. We say no to the Israel war. Don't you know his dad's a toolmaker? Well, I'd say he made a perfect violator. A top knob and an Englishman hater. A Ukrainian boy penetrator. Man knows firsthand how Jimmy fixed it. Fully involved but the BBC missed it. Hidden evidence cause they didn't want to risk it. Kept scum and quiet with a rich tea biscuit. Lies and corruption on every news station. Don't you dare speak about immigration. Gender 30s in full operation. As we continue to lie to the nation. We ain't gonna fight no war. And we ain't gonna play no more. Sitting in silence cause we know your game is to push us to violence. And we ain't gonna fight no war. And we ain't gonna play no more. We say no to the Israel war.
We have actually. Everyone give a round of applause for Miss Kent. Come on. Now, funny enough, so as many of you may know, myself and Monty Toms from Together have been arrested and charged with hurty words. Those hurty words. So I'm going to end this demonstration on a song from a good friend of mine, a member of Students Against Tyranny, Nika, who has written a song about free speech, and then we can all go to the pub and have a few pints. So, yeah, I'm desperate for one as well. Right.
Use yours, we'll link it up now.
Have you all had a good demo anyway? Yeah, we have. Listen, like, a lot of people have told me that disheartened with the numbers don't beat. You've all done absolutely fantastic for our first demonstration on a Monday bloody night. So give it on up. Well done, everyone.
John, it's called Elder Systems. Oh shit, hold on. Hold the phone.
My hands are. Well, we're getting that ready. Some of you may have heard this in Braintree or Colchester, or maybe on a live stream, I don't know. If I'm annoying, I'm sorry. If you like it, you're welcome.
Yeah, it should be connected.
Sure, we don't have aux.
We're gonna have to use mine.
Yeah, go.
Alright, cool. What's it called? It's on Spotify. Got it. There we are.
Okay. Oh, the satisfaction of singing at this building. It's great. Even if no one's in there.
It's not coming up, hold on.
I know people are tired, we're all wanting to go home, we're wanting to go to the pub. There is a part of the Magna Carta stating every man and woman has basic rights.
There we are. Done it again, sorry.
There you go. There is a part of the Magna Carta stating every man and woman has basic rights to stand and fight. These basic freedoms cannot be granted or taken away. They're here to stay. So go on then. Their right to travel, work and protest, education and even their rights just do no harm. So go and keep your mind and free speech for all mankind, and stop looking up all migrants for speaking dirty words. Why don't you want the real crime, the theft and rape and violence? Expect us to stay silent? Oh no, I don't think so. Thought that 1984 was bad, but dude, have you seen 2025? Here are our lives. With every passing day, our sovereignty is stifled more than ever before. So go and speak your mind and free speech for all mankind, and stop locking up all migrants for speaking dirty words. Why don't you hunt for real crime, the theft and rape and violence? Expect us to stay silent? Oh no, I don't think so. Oh, it's hard as to see the way that things are going. The liberties they try to take are punish if we don't go along with what they say and issue shitty fines. There's so much to enjoy, and yeah, we're in decline. Monitoring where we go with cameras on the streets. In China they already have the digital ID. Oh, but we are fools to think it won't come here. Every day there's more and more coming in on points when in the past of living courses. life has no sooner up the brain. To all you, this is socialist Ukraine. So it's with all mind and I'm saying let's be strong to mankind and stop locking up all my brains, 'cause we can only work. Don't you want a real crime that's theft and rape and violence? Expect us to stay silent? Oh no, I don't think so. Oh no, I don't think so. Oh no, I don't think so. Oh no, 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 I don't think so. And that is the entertainment part of the protest. Can you tell that I'm really tired? Like really sick and tired of being oppressed? That I'm getting the words wrong? Because this shit is getting to me. And I just want to be left alone, to be happy, to live a free life and stop being told what to do. Being whatever. Anyway.
Come on, that's pathetic. Round of applause. Listen, I want to thank each and every single one of you for being here today. You can look your kids in the eyes and say, I fucking tried. I was here at the beginning of this revolution. Give yourself a round of applause, and I'll see you in the next one.
Oh. Oh, you don't know anything about that.
Okay, well, links to support, donate, everything down below. Please, if people can cover my tube fare, that would be appreciated. If everyone wants to drop a £5 or a tenner, Patreon, PayPal, buy me a coffee. It's been a nice little protest, and I will catch you guys soon.
Oh, hold on, actually, I've got to say that on the side.
Can I remind everyone, if you've got a sign,